Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Letitia Wallace begins now.
Good evening. A man's home has been destroyed after an early morning fire. An investigation has concluded it was arson as police search for those responsible.
Only a burnt-out shell remains of this Rutherglen Road unit. Around 5 a.m. this morning, fire crews were called here to find it engulfed by flames.
On arrival, the premise was fully involved, had vented out the windows, and subsequently they had to attack the fire externally.
The resulting damage totalling $300,000. With nobody home at the time, a neighbour woken by his dog called the fire in. That quick-thinking man then helped contain the blaze before firefighters arrived.
The neighbours noticed the fire through his bedroom window, and he's very diligent, came over and got a garden hose and protected the property next door to it.
Those efforts preventing any damage to the house.
It certainly helped look after the neighbour's house, and it was very good of him to do that.
Investigators remained on site all morning before concluding that the fire was deliberately lit. Police are now searching for the perpetrator. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
A 24-year-old South Arm man is in a critical but stable condition after a bicycle crash in the early hours of this morning. Emergency services responded to the scene on Blessington Street just after 3 a.m, where he was found unresponsive. Police say the man wasn't wearing a helmet at the time, and investigations indicate he lost control of the children's bike he was riding before crashing into a parked vehicle.
Now, over the last 4 weeks, we've had 4 serious and 1 fatal crash involving either push bikes or motorbikes. If you're going to get out on this, on these things, then wear the safety equipment. It's going to give you your best chance of survival.
Police are calling on anyone who was with the man throughout the night or may have information to contact Crime Stoppers. Tasmania's health system is being bolstered with the addition of new GPs and nurses around the state. But there are concerns the Mersey Community Hospital is being left behind. Labor says despite the ED reopening, ambulances on the northwest are still being redirected to Launceston.
Tasmanian nurses have been on the front line throughout the pandemic. Now the workforce is being bolstered. New recruits set to begin work this week.
Very needed in our time at the moment. Yes, we're very busy, as you're aware.
These nurses among 44 graduates joining the team at the Launceston General Hospital.
I wanted a career that was interesting, challenging and made a difference in people's lives, and I'm certainly able to do that with the job that I have.
Well, 34 new GP registrars will also begin their specialty training in the coming week.
We all know there's big challenges in health, and training GPs locally to a really good quality standard is imperative. And having GPs training all around the state from Scottsdale to Smithton to Hobart, it's really important for our state.
The boost crucial as the state prepares for its COVID vaccine rollout.
I expect that we'll continue to look to recruit across a range of professional areas to respond to both COVID, the vaccination rollout, as well as our business as usual demands.
Not business as usual on the northwest coast. Despite the Mersey Community Hospital's emergency department reopening late last year, Labor says ambulances are still being redirected to the LGH.
They've told the Tasmanian population that it is operational, but clearly it's only part-time operational now.
But there are some cases that are too high acuity to be dealt with at the Mersey, and it's safer for the patient to come here for their care at the LGH.
Meg Sides, 7 Tasmania News.
Horse racing has returned to Elwick for the first time since a race meet was abandoned due to the state of the track late last month. The Tasmanian Racing Club says it's confident the issue has been resolved, but the state opposition says the independent inquiry into the incident will provide the long-term solutions.
It has been a day for winners on and off course. These two scoring a golden ticket. Named the Tasmanian Racing Club's newest ambassadors in time for the upcoming Hobart Cup.
I just love the culture and the atmosphere and love seeing them run for post.
I love the atmosphere of Hobart Cup Day. It's just so good. I meet so many new people.
Elwick Stakes Day also serving as a trial. Today, the first meeting on the controversial track since the Tasmanian Guineas Race Day was abandoned on December 27. Loose grass plugs behind the decision, which occurred just a year after it received a much publicised $12 million upgrade aimed at improving conditions. The recent repairs receiving the thumbs up today.
The track's in fantastic form. All the winning trainers are very impressed with the track, and it's held up very well.
The incident is currently the subject of an independent inquiry, while turf experts from Melbourne are assisting Tas Racing. Labor says the investigation must provide answers for the industry.
That will hopefully provide some recommendations to ensure that the series of mistakes that were made that led to the cancellation of events here at Elwick doesn't get repeated.
We will await the outcomes of that to look at what further potentially needs to be done.
The club confident the Tasmanian Derby and Hobart Cup will be held at the venue.
Every indication is that the track is well and truly in fantastic order. There's a thorough maintenance regime now.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmanians are bracing themselves for hot weather with the mercury set to soar tomorrow. High temperatures and strong winds are predicted across the state. A total fire ban has been issued for 12 municipalities, with the Tasmanian Fire Service concerned about the possibility of blazes.
We'll be expecting high fire dangers, particularly all through the south, but in particular in the Derwent Valley, parts of the East Coast and the Midlands area.
A cold front coming across the state on Tuesday will see the danger short-lived. A national paintball competition has arrived in Tasmania for the first time. The tournament saw inexperienced players go head-to-head with some of the country's best as the sport continues to grow in the state.
An up-and-coming sport in Tasmania.
Paintball became legal in Tasmania about 4 years ago, and since then we've been running a local tournament series.
The state today hosting a national competition for the first time.
So this is a big step forward in Tasmanian paintball. It's good to have the recognition that we're building the sport down here.
The NXL Australia tournament attracting teams from interstate, including Cartel, one of the top teams in the country.
We've got teams here today that some of these guys literally first time playing ever, you know, and I mean they're going to have a hard time today, no doubt about it, but they're going to enjoy themselves and go away, hopefully, and want to come back.
One of those players is Jordan Davey.
Everyone here looks kind of professional, and I just hear people getting shot behind me, so I'm kind of a bit nervous, yeah.
Not deterred by the fast-paced game.
Definitely reckon I'll be back. I mean, the atmosphere's pretty good and seems pretty fun.
Referees also flown in for the event.
What I like about emerging markets in the paintball industry is that you can go in, you can help people just go about enjoying the game that is paintball.
Teams already hoping to return to Tasmania for more games this year.
And if you can squeeze another one in, we'll bring 2 teams next time, maybe 3.
Meg Sides, 7 Tasmania News.
A Tasmanian gym will be well represented at the Oceania Powerlifting Championships in Melbourne next week, with more than 10 members selected for the Australian team. Those involved are excited about representing the country, saying the sport caters for a wide range of ages and abilities.
For many, Sunday is traditionally a day of relaxation, but for these athletes, today was all about training. This Moona gym is home to some of the state's best powerlifters. While similar to weightlifting, this sport's techniques differ to its Olympic cousin.
Powerlifting's 3 lifts, so the squat, the bench press and the deadlift. More those general gym goer movements you'd see people doing at any gym.
The team will be doing some heavy lifting next week. 11 will have the weight of the nation on their shoulders, representing Australia at the Oceania Championships in Melbourne.
We've got 10% of the total entries, actually, which is very exciting. We're looking real good, particularly in the individual age classes. So our Masters team, so our 40 plus, really good.
It's pretty exciting to see what sort of competition there is. We got the competitor list last night, so just having a look, seeing what was there.
Liam targeting a number of goals, which could see him finish as the national number 2 in his category.
Come top 3 in the open category and win for my weight class in the open category.
From visiting the gym 18 months ago through to being picked for a country, 53-year-old Andrea Daly is rising quickly through the ranks.
I'm hoping just to be able to do some PBs in those 3 disciplines
Bench is probably my weakest event. I'm still trying to learn the technique.
The group diverse in age and ability, with some competitors as young as 18 and others aged in their 80s.
It doesn't discriminate. It's literally you versus a barbell, and it's just how hard you want to train.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmanian News.
Jacob Birtwistle has won the Greens Beach Triathlon, the Tasmanians' first race in 15 months. The 26-year-old world champion silver medalist began his run to the Tokyo Olympics at the brand new event.
A high-quality field lined up on the sand for the first running of the Greens Beach Triathlon. The men's race, taken up by Olympic hopeful Jacob Birtwistle.
Yeah, it was good. It was a great day out there for it. Perfect conditions, and it was great to see so many people out there on the course.
Another step on his path to Tokyo.
It was always going to be a tough day for me today, just in the phase I'm in my training. I'm about 3 months away from my kind of key races, I guess, for the year.
Birtwistle leading from start to finish, posting the fastest swim and run times. Following him was a close race for second. Blair Tunovich just beating out Jonty Armstead. Meanwhile, the women's event was taken out by 14-year-old Rachel Horsham.
I got better as the legs went on. Definitely the hard run. Yeah.
The inaugural edition of the event saw more than 120 entrants, a reward for organisers' hard work.
Yeah, it has been quite difficult. Always the first year for a triathlon is always the hardest because there's a lot more permits and stuff like that you have to get.
It's a perfect spot here for a triathlon. So it's strange to think that it's taken this long to have the first event down here. It's great to see the team kind of put it on, and so many people have come out to support it.
With the first event a success, organisers are hopeful it will become a calendar fixture. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmanian News.
After missing out when she sprinted to second 2 days ago, Tasmania's Georgia Baker has won the final stage of the Festival of Cycling. Baker held her sprint until late to cross the line first in the criterium. Sarah Gigante of Team Garmin Australia won the general classification, while another Tasmanian, Nicole Frayne, finished in 4th overall. Turk Warrior has lived up to its reputation, taking out today's listed Elwick Stakes. Sitting on the outside most of the race, the bookies' favourite blitzed its rivals on the home straight to win the $100,000 race.
Turk Warrior, he's as green as the grass he's running on, but he's quite special. Turk Warrior takes the Elwick Stakes comfortably.
It's 2 wins from 2 starts for the gelding. Meanwhile, Hella's undefeated record remains intact, with the 3-year-old recording a convincing win in the 1,000 guineas. We were promised quick lap times at Race Tasmania, and on day 1, the 41-year-old Symmons Plains lap record has already fallen. In the S5000s, James Golding set a lap time of 49.35 seconds in the day's first practice session. Lee Holdsworth and his Alfa Romeo fired an early warning sign to their TCR rivals, topping the leaderboard in both practice sessions today.
Good evening everyone. 29 in Launceston today, Hobart and Burnie both 25, and slightly cooler in Devonport reaching 21. Ooze, the state's top with 31 degrees, 29 in Grove, Lyowini 28, St Helens and Flinders Island 23 and 22 in Friendly Beaches. Low-level cloud can be seen about the east coast today, while thickening high-level cloud moved across the state throughout the day. Further out, mid to high-level cloud can be seen streaming across the southeast of the country from the northwest of South Australia, while cloud associated with thunderstorms is about the centre of the country. Tomorrow's chart shows a trough crossing Tasmania from late morning and is followed by a cold front in the late evening, while a low pressure system will move across South Australia. North to northwesterly winds tomorrow, 15 to 25 knots, reaching up to 30 knots in the lower east. And a strong wind warning is current for the lower east coast from Wineglass Bay to Tasman Island. A fire weather warning is also current for the upper Derwent Valley. Late rain and 32 in Hobart tomorrow, 29 in Dover, Ooze 36 also with late rain. Humid in Launceston tomorrow reaching 34 degrees, Devonport 27, late rain and 31 in Scottsdale. 27 in Burnie tomorrow, 29 in Strawn with developing rain, Stanley a top of 27. And in the east, 33 in St Helens, late rain, and 36 in Swansea, and Ross 35 degrees. And as expected, the UV remains extreme right across the state tomorrow. Looking on to Tuesday now, rain, easing to showers and contracting to the west and northeast in the afternoon. Fine on Wednesday apart from possible showers about the west and southeast coast. And on Thursday, mainly fine with cooler temperatures and east to southeasterly winds. 32 in Adelaide tomorrow, Melbourne 39, mostly sunny in Sydney and Cairns, and 30 degrees in Brisbane and Darwin. And currently Hobart partly cloudy and 23, 25 in Launceston and partly cloudy, and Devonport 21. Another hot one tomorrow, Letitia.
Thanks for that, Chelsea. That's all your news for this Sunday evening. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.